Day away from Week 4 Sunday. I'm Jason Gilbo at Fantasy Football Cafe, looking at the injury report for Week 4. Some good news around the league. Drew Brees upgraded to probable this week, so that's good. But starting out with who's out this week, Tevin Coleman for the Atlanta Falcons definitely going to be out, which means another week of Devonta Freeman, and Coleman should be closer to return next week. Could see another questionable tag, but he's for sure out this week. Deshaun Jackson out, getting closer to a return. Didn't practice, but next week should see some limited participation. Victor Cruz suffered a setback with a calf issue. Definitely not going to play this week, although earlier in the week he did say he was going to play, but that's not going to be the case. Could be out for even more time. Ruben Randall, Larry Donald set to benefit just a little bit outside of Odell Beckham. LaShawn McCoy, Sammy Watkins have already been ruled out, so no worrying there. Carlos Williams is going to get the bump with McCoy out there, and Watkins seems like a one week and done. Should be back next week with the calf issue, but McCoy says he's not going to play until he's 100%. So Williams, go grab him. Vernon Davis, he's another name that's out. That's kind of it so far. Questionables, there are plenty of them. Jordan Cameron, questionable for this week game in London against the Jets. Had the same issue last week with the groin, but was fine. Should be good to go again. Alshon Jeffrey, expected to miss week 4 despite being questionable. He practiced to an extent this week, and we thought he had a chance of coming back, which he even said, but likely not going to be the case. His quarterback, Jay Cutler, questionable, but I guess you could call him a game-time decision, but likely going to sit out another week. Arian Foster could be getting close to a return. A true game-time decision we will not know until pregame. Luckily for us, it's a 1 o'clock game, but it seems like Foster's going to have to convince himself and Bill O'Brien to play. Otherwise, he'll sit out and likely be back the Thursday night game. My guess is they're going to sit him and return him because they don't want to do the short week, but that's my take. Andrew Luck, questionable, but per Chuck Pagano, going to play this weekend. Should be no problem. Got a banged up shoulder, but just seems to be more from taking a beating of that awful offensive line. Dwayne Allen, however, not the case there. Remains a game-time decision, but there were talks of limited snaps, which kind of kills both him and Fleener's value for this weekend. It's going to be one to keep an eye on, but just one to ultimately avoid altogether. DeMarco Murray, full participant in practice this week, but still listed as questionable. He should be a go, but, the crap he pulled last week, saying he was going to play and then didn't last minute, just keep an eye on it because that very well could be the case again, although he does have a nice, kind of a tougher matchup. Washington's pretty decent stopping the run, so that's one to keep an eye on as well. Ladarius Green, full participant in practice this week, dealing with a concussion, but if he plays, this should be his last week of any fantasy value with Antonio Gates coming back next week. Devontae Adams listed as questionable for the Packers, not going to play. Ty Montgomery is likely going to get most of the looks in the 3 wide out sets, could have some value there in flyer, if you want to take a flyer in the late wide receiver 3 there with Montgomery. Andre Ellington expected back this week, yet remains a game-time decision, but likely going to play. CJ2K, Chris Johnson, going to be the starter, though, so you're probably going to see some touches from both of them. But, with this Cardinals offense, the way it's going in the passing game, could see both value, although I will sit Ellington one more week. Drew Brees, upgrade to probable, probably the best news of the week. That's good news for all the surrounding Saints like Brandon Cooks and Mark Ingram, CJ Spiller, if they decide to actually stick to their words and get him involved more. It could be a pretty big week for the Saints offense at home against Dallas. Monday night game features Marshawn Lynch, who left last week's game with a hamstring issue and was previously questionable with a calf issue last week. Disappointing because I had him locked in, ready to go for a big week. Nope, takes a seat. And now sources say 60-40 for him to play Monday night. I'm not buying that. I believe he's going to sit. I'm not taking the risk. I would definitely look for other options going forward. That's going to do for week 4. Good luck and make sure to stay tuned Sunday morning because there are some guys to keep a key eye on.